Welcome everybody! Piston joined us today. He didn't get camera shy. He actually just hopped back on the couch. He was laying on the floor and he got back up on the couch, so he wants to hang out with us today. He's a Pisces, and we're talking about Mars and Saturn in Pisces. He knows I'm talking about him. Let's see who's here today. Violet, good morning. Greetings, Jackie. Hello, April, Sarah. Good morning, Sharon and Anne. Hello, Seeds. He's a cutie. I know, he's my handsome boy. Sweat, hello. Good day, Julie and Goddess, Elena. Good morning, Nicole. Jennifer, good evening from Australia. Cute pup. Thank you. Hi, Tam. Hi, Joe. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I am an astrologer from Northern Illinois, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of aspects in the sky. We have Mars conjunct Saturn in Pisces today, and then tomorrow Mercury retrograde is meeting up with the Sun in Aries. So we will dissect all of that. I still can't get over that he's on the couch. He always gets camera shy and jumps off right before I hit record. Hello, Jess. Hi, Becky. Good morning, Kelly. So how was everybody's eclipse? This is Piston, yes. And he's relaxed right now. I used to be afraid to say his name because he really likes to get all up in my face and get attention. If you've taken the video course, my Aries video course, he's in the bloopers. You get to see exactly how he is when he's all up in my face. But I used to not say his name because I didn't want him to get excited and think that it was time to be on screen, but he's growing up. Hi, Nancy. Kelly says very strong energy, sense of commitment to rebirth and renewal. That's beautiful. Good morning, Michelle. So yeah, we had that Aries solar eclipse on Monday. This is a ginormous rebirth of ourselves because of our healing journey, because of all the work that we've been dedicating ourselves to completing. Bonnie, I just came in when you said all up in my face and get attention, thought you were talking about me. Of course not, Bonnie. I was talking about Piston. Violet didn't have the amazing experience that many did. My pup was being weird, so I stayed inside with him, but the energy was great. Do I have a story for you guys? Fiona says, my eclipse was freaking incredible. Went to the big festival here in Texas. So much awesome magic happening within and around. I feel rebirthed. That's amazing. Jackie's feeling very full, joyous. Could be the eclipse or could be that I'm going away with friends this weekend. It's all divine timing, Jackie. Joe says, I think the animals are feeling the eclipse too. My cat is sitting on my lap more so. Yeah, he's been getting into garbages. And this has been like growing. And he, like, every time we throw a tissue in the garbage, right away, he's like, oh, I got that. I want to eat that. He's the most sensitive dog. I will absolutely tell my story, Violet. Delana, good day. Hope you all are well. I'm recovering and procrastinating the eclipse experience. Hello, Michelle, my belle. I don't know how these emojis come in. Hi, friends. So, Monday's eclipse for me was interesting. I don't want to go like too much into detail, but I had 3 different travel opportunities and they all kind of fell through. I had an opportunity to go be in the Path of Totality with a friend, and that fell through. And then I had a chance to go sit in ceremony away from the Path of Totality with another like shamanic friend. That kind of fell through. And then I considered driving 5 hours south to just go witness the eclipse in totality on my own. And my car ended up not working that day, and it just like everything just kind of fell through, and I knew that I was meant to be at home, and I didn't know why. So, and here's another thing where like I even connected with another astrologer friend and neither of us can figure this out. I was very confused because the new moon peaked at 1:21 p.m. here at Central Time, and I went outside at 1:15 And then it was 1:26, and I'm like, there's nothing happening. There's absolutely nothing happening. So I was texting my friend about it, and she's like, oh yeah, the eclipse is at 2:06. So that just doesn't make any sense. If the sun and the moon were at the same degree at 1:21, why was the eclipse 40 minutes later? Anyway, 45 minutes later. Whatever, and I was like, oh, bummer, this isn't the right time. Now I'm gonna go inside, twiddle my thumbs until 2 o'clock, and then go back outside. And Piston, it was also really windy that day. He's very sensitive. He was hiding inside the house. He really didn't want to be exposed. He was really trying to get under tables and get behind stuff. So anyway, I went outside again at 2 o'clock. I was kind of just sitting there. I have an older neighbor a few doors down, and he kept calling over to check on me, hey Jacqui, do you have glasses? And I was like, nope, not planning on staring at the sun. I'm just waiting to see what happens. Hey Jacqui, you could do this? And I was like, cool man, I'm just trying to be here with my dogs. So I was outside with my dogs and my chickens, just trying to witness nature, just be with nature. I was paying attention to how the birds were flying, and everything seemed pretty normal. And then the eclipse came and went. I saw some interesting shadows on the ground. I saw some trippy dippy shadows. I don't think I took mushroom. I'm just kidding. And that was about it. And I was extremely underwhelmed. And I was like, that's it. That's my eclipse experience. I felt I wasted the whole day is how I felt. And I was in a group text with some friends, and they all had these wonderful experiences, and it was great. And I felt like a Debbie Downer, so I just put my phone away and did my thing. Then, yesterday morning, I was journaling about it. And this is, it's not very Jacqui-like to say, oh well, when I think about true core of Jacqui, when I want something, I make it happen. If I wanted to see that eclipse, you damn well bet I would have gone to see that eclipse. So I was feeling disappointed in myself that I kind of let this big opportunity, it's a total solar eclipse, the next one isn't going to be for 20 years. And I just kind of let it fall to the wayside. I was like, what the hell, Jacqui? What are you doing? Who are you? Why did you let yourself down like that? And I processed all my feelings and I journaled it out. Then I listened to a voice memo that my astrologer friend sent me the night before that I was just upset. I didn't want to listen to it. Then I processed all my feelings. Then I hit play. And this guy, he lives in Tennessee. He wasn't in the path of totality, but he had an equally underwhelming experience. And he's like, this was kind of pointless. Why did we get so excited about it? And then he said that a random new client found him on Google, called him, and she was losing her mind because she felt like she hopped timelines on Monday. She swore that she saw the eclipse at 11 a.m. and then she saw the eclipse again at 2 p.m. And she was like, am I losing my mind? What is happening? And so she reached out to anyone who she thought would hear her out. An astrologer. Of course an astrologer is going to be open-minded to this kind of stuff. So he heard her out. He validated her experience. Yes, some people experience phenomenon, a lot shifting right now. I understand you. You're not crazy. And that's the purpose that he served. So after that whole experience, I processed my feelings. I listened to his story, and then it kind of sank in. And I felt like a little bit of, what's that middle one? The maiden, the sage, and the crone. So I felt like I bumped up from spiritual maiden to sage. And I'm like, maybe I don't need to be that thrill seeker. Maybe I don't need to be in the depths of all of these monumental experiences. Maybe now I'm at the point where I'm the stable source for people to bounce their ideas off of me. Maybe I'm at that place where I can hear people who are having these awakening experiences because I've already gone through that part. So it all kind of all of that made sense. And that was really nice to put all together. So I didn't think that story was going to take that long, but that's what happened. And I will definitely be witnessing the next total solar eclipse over the United States. I don't know off the top of my head when that is, but I think it's in the 40s, sometime in the 40s. That totally resonates with Violet. Cindy had a similar experience, and you're giving me chills right now. That's so funny. Mimi, you said you're like the only one that didn't see it. Yeah, I mean, this was huge for the States. This was huge because it was crossing the path of totality from 2017. There's a lot over the pyramids in 2027. Oh, get out, Bonnie. Okay, but we're here to talk about a couple astrology transits, and I do have quite a bit to talk about, but I just wanted to share that experience with you guys, because you guys are kind of like my sounding board sometimes, but that's cool. I love that there's a spread of some of you guys had these really monumental life-changing experiences, and some of these others are kind of just Joe, Oz. Where's Oz? You'll have to come down to Oz in 2028 to see. Australia. Okay. That's my dream vacation. I say it all the time. I'm just throwing it out to the universe. I would love to go to Australia. Anyway, today is April 10th, and we have Mars conjunct Saturn today. And then tomorrow, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. Mars conjunct Saturn. This is happening today. This conjunction was like the biggest downer aspect that I feel happening in April. I did a whole April highlight video. So if you didn't see that, check out my YouTube channel. Just search my name and you can find me there. I did a highlight of all the astrology happening in April. And when I came to this Mars conjunct Saturn, I was like a deflated balloon a little bit. Because April is full of super potent manifesting energy. And today we have this Mars-Saturn conjunction. This is telling us to hold our horses. This is slowing us down. We are in this energy of hop, skip, jumping into our new reality. And then Mars and Saturn meet up at 14 degrees of Pisces. And they need you to slow down. They need you to hold your horses. Mars represents our energy, our ambition, what motivates us, what drives us. Saturn represents limits, boundaries, regulations. So when these planets come together, it feels like a big roadblock. It feels like a big responsibility. For reference, these two planets meet up about every 2 years because it takes Mars about 2 years to orbit the sky. So the last time we had Mars and Saturn come together was in early April of 2022. Back then, they met up at 22 degrees of Aquarius, and I know that that was a long time ago. You may need to pause and ponder, but if you can feel into what was being held up for you in early April 2022, what was presented as this big responsibility that you had to conquer before you can move on, that type of roadblock energy. This time around, they're meeting up in Pisces, 14 degrees to be exact. So this feels like an emotional roadblock, Pisces emotions. It feels like there is a lingering emotion that hasn't been processed, that's holding you back. This emotion is not letting you move forward because it's asking for your attention. Mars and Saturn meeting up in Pisces feels like they want you to let something go. They want you to allow an emotional cycle to come to a close. And I was trying to intuit like which emotions might be strongest, and this is going to look different for everybody. So I have a practice that I can offer to you guys. So this is something, if you're watching live, you might want to hop back on YouTube later so you can like pause and follow along, but you could do it right now in quick time. I want you to bring to mind whatever it is that you're trying hardest to manifest right now. And if it's multiple things, pick the first one that comes to mind. What is something that you are trying so hard to create in your life? And you can see this dream reality in your mind's eye. Just bring yourself into this place. This is what I desire. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm creating. And then for the purpose of emotional research, I want you to sink in, feel the distance between now and then. Feel the space between now and then. Intuitively, without thinking, what emotions come up when you see the gap? What emotions come up when you see the space between your current reality and your desired reality? Now take it physically. How does this feel in your body? What does it physically feel like? Where do you feel it in your body? Describe that physical sensation to yourself. Then, maybe later today, when you have the time, you can ask your body to bring you back to the first time your body remembers feeling this way. So this is we're detaching from the mind because the mind limits, the body remembers, the body knows. So ask your body to intuitively bring you back to the first time your body remembers feeling this way. And it might take you a few jumps to get back there. You may first land in your teenage years, but I encourage you to try to jump as far back as possible, ideally younger than age 7. That's when all of our subconscious was stuck into places around age 7. So wherever you land, the first time you can bring yourself back to feeling this emotion in your body, you can sit with that younger version of yourself, ask them what they need. You can let them know that their feelings are valid. Let them know that they're not alone. It's good to nourish that part of you that's been wounded for all of these years. And whatever memory you go back to, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to align with anything consciously in your life right now. The body knows, the body remembers. The body stores memories differently than your mind. And if you're having a difficult time recalling memories of childhood, get up and move your body. Shake, dance, walk, jog, whatever. You need to move your body if you are having a hard time recalling childhood memories, because the memories are stuck. If you're having a hard time recalling your childhood, you may still be in a physical freeze mode, a survival freeze mode. You guys remember Monday's card, the antelope, shake to heal? How timely, because in March, when I made this April highlights video, I was already talking about we need to move our body on April 10th. We need to process these emotions. This is because today, guys, the moon is in Taurus. It entered Taurus yesterday, but today, the moon in Taurus is forming a harmonious sextile 60 degrees away to this Mars-Saturn conjunction. So the moon in Taurus, the moon represents what we emotionally need. Taurus is the physical body. So we have this emotional need right now to connect to your physical body. And this doesn't need to be any special sacred practice. Intentions are where the power lies. Go for a walk and set the intention to dispel stagnant energy that's blocking your dream reality. Set the intention before you clean your house, before you go stand on your feet all day at work, before you run around with your kids or your grandkids. Something as simple as, I intend to unlock blank emotions today while I engage in physical movement. It's as simple as that. Tatiana's getting ready for a walk. Jacqui, thankful I got up early for a yoga class. Sweat just aired and saged your house this morning. Jennifer's feeling that huge gap in your heart space. Let your heart bring you back to the first time she felt that gap. Sophia's feeling own it. I love that. Suzanne has been stretching since the beginning of this talk. It's beautiful, right? Everything's so timely. So then that is Mars conjunct Saturn with support from the moon in Taurus. So it's time to process an emotion that's been stuck, that's holding you in this current dense reality. Then tomorrow, Mercury retrograde meets up with the sun. Mercury stationed retrograde on April 1st at 27 degrees of Aries. And Mercury is going to meet up with the sun as he moves back to 22 degrees of Aries. And the energy of this conjunction feels like, oh my God, duh. It feels like, how did I forget that? Because Mercury retrograde is a time of mental review. In Aries, we're reviewing who we think we are. We're reviewing who we want to be. We're reviewing what personality we want to use. So anytime a planet meets up with the sun, it becomes supercharged. So with Mercury in review, our mind is in retrospect, and then the sun highlights. So a lost memory perhaps might come up. A lost quality that you so love about yourself might come back into your mental space. This can be a remembrance about an action that you meant to take, because this is the sun and Mercury are coming together in Aries, ruled by Mars. It's related to taking action. Oh, that's right. I was going to start that project. Oops, I forgot. This is the best time to do it. This can also be a remembrance about something you said or something you thought to yourself or about yourself. You can suddenly connect with the most confident version that you used to be, remembering how awesome you were. That's been happening with me a lot lately. I keep going back to 17-year-old Jacqui. Like 17-year-old Jacqui was the bomb diggity, and I keep trying to bring her back. So this started coming up as I was making my notes. When it comes to astrology, whether you know what's happening or not, it's happening. And I used to be much more detail-oriented with astrology. I used to listen, like when I was still learning how to read it for myself, I would listen to astrologers, and I remember I would make notes on my calendar. Like, okay, April 10th, move your body. Got it. All right, April 11th, you're going to remember something. And I would mark it, which was definitely helpful at the time. It definitely helped me feel into the different transits and the different aspects. Now I'm finding that I'm more at a point that if I hear it once, that's enough. If I find it in my own research, that's enough. It made its way in, it's okay. The transit is going to play out whether I anticipate it or not. And the more I find myself feeling into the larger themes of astrology, like the zodiac season we're in, for example, such as working with Aries energy while we're in Aries season, the more I use astrology in these broad strokes, the more I find that I'm naturally led to the fine details. Like I'm literally syncing up with the universe. And the same is super possible for you. This came to mind a lot because I was just sinking in when I first did my April video. I knew that there was something about movement today. I saw that the moon in Taurus was going to be sextiling this Mars-Saturn conjunction, and I brought this up weeks ago. And then on Monday, that shake card came up. How do you move past trauma? You physically move it from your body. And then I was making these notes for today, and it just kept coming up and kept coming up. So if you haven't yet taken my Aries course, my Embody Astrology Aries course, it's available on Insight Timer. It's a 2-day course where you first learn all about Aries energy. Then you learn an embodiment technique to bring Aries energy into your life during Aries season. And I recorded my Taurus course yesterday, and it's amazingly timely with everything in the sky right now. Taurus, physical body, right? I just happened to have the free time when the moon was in Taurus to make all these Taurus physical body embodiment things. So that's going to be coming out towards the end of the month. Taurus season starts on April 19th. So my message in general is take what resonates and leave the rest. You don't need to attach to every single detail of what I say. Because when I come here, guys, I'm channeling. I'm just letting information, it first flows through my fingers as I type my notes, but it's just information flowing. It's not all meant to be crammed and stored in your brain. I want you to trust that your mind will pick up exactly what's meant for you. So the main themes, just as a recap before we get to our cards, the main themes for today and tomorrow, there's 3 of them. Find what emotions are blocking your progress. You could do so by using the technique that I described earlier. Number 2 is use movement to unlock and process your emotions. And then 3, allow yourself to remember who you really are. Those are my biggest takeaways from Mars conjunct Saturn in Pisces and the Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in Aries. So I'm going to use 2 different decks. We're going to ask 2 different questions. Athena's working with the fear of being seen. Becky, thank you. Fantastic Aries course. Goddess has gone through the course twice. Sarah, does the solar eclipse energy include having a fight with someone? I had that rare experience on this eclipse, maybe intense Aries energy. 100%. Especially because the solar eclipse had Chiron involved. Chiron is the wounded healer. And Aries, with that Mars energy, Aries is ruled by Mars. So think about if your wounds are not ready to be healed or if they're being triggered in a certain way, that Mars energy is going to fight. Violet, point number 1 was to find which emotions are blocking your progress. And earlier today, I gave a little technique on how to do that. So this will be available on my YouTube channel a little bit later today. You can just search my name on YouTube and find me there. Does this have more of an impact with your birthday on Friday? Depending on what degree your sun was at when you were born, most likely. If you want it to have an impact, it's going to have an impact. That's kind of how astrology works also, as well. Is there another Violet? Oh, there is another Violet. That's right. That's funny. All right. So 2 different questions for 2 different decks. This first deck, I've only used it a handful of times here. I have a hard time connecting with it, but something was telling me it's time to use this deck again. So I'm going to use the Healing Spirits Oracle. And this first one, we're going to ask, how can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? So this deck, we're asking for the how. And I always do group readings here, so feel free to send your energy into this deck. And we're asking, how can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? Excuse me, someone released something. In this group reading, I allow 3 cards to fall out of the deck for us. And the whole reading is for everyone here, but I like to play a game with our intuition. So I will show you the backs of the cards. I just had a card explosion. I'll show you the backs of the cards after the 3 fall out. So you're going to see the same card back image 3 times. But I want you just to tune into your intuition. Intuition is different for everyone. Some people see more with their eyes. Some people know with their mind. Some people smell. Some people hear. Some people feel. There's no right or wrong way to experience your intuition. So if anything changes in your physical environment when I hold up a certain card, or if anything changes within your body when I hold up a certain card, that could mean that that specific message has a little bit more weight for you. The whole reading is for all of us, right? So if absolutely nothing changes, I don't want you to doubt your intuition. It doesn't mean that your intuition's broken. It just means that the whole reading holds an equal amount of importance for you. So without further ado, I'll show you the backs of the 3 cards, and then let us know in the chat which cards are resonating with you. Flying cards, very Aries. Cards are flying everywhere today. All right, guys, here's the back. Oh, we're asking, how can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? The back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat, and I will show them one more time just in case. How can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? The back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let's see who's working with what. Jacqui 1, Jenny 1, Tatiana 3, Sarah 1, Sarah 3, Athena 2, Joe 3, Julie 1 and 3, Nicole 1 and 2, Deborah 1, Cindy 1, Sharon 3, Bonnie 2, Stacy 2, Jess 1, big yawn, Violet 2, there was a pause, Karma 1 was Karen 2, Kelly 2, peace, Greg 1 and 2, Leah all for me, Kelly 1, Jennifer 1, Michelle 1, Michelle 3, Nancy 1, Anik all, Yvonne 2 and 3, Goddess 1 and 3, Mimi 1, Mackenzie definitely card 1, Melinda 1 and maybe 2, Chantel 1 and 3, Christy 1, Debbie 3, Michelle my bell all 3, Sophia all of them today, April 1 and 3, Diana 2, April 1, Lori 2. Jennifer, I saw a flash of light in the room with 1. Yeah, I was gonna see if anyone noticed that. I think it was a car going in my street. Carl 1, 2, 3. Suzanne, different responses to different cards. Maybe 1 for certain emotions, 3 for others. Interesting. Rebecca all, April 3. Melinda also saw that flash of light. Michelle, so funny you said 1 by mistake. Maybe, right? Maybe you need to hear 1, but there's something that you don't want to, you know? Melissa 1. Nancy saw the flash of light 2. April's laughing at so many Aprils here. How rare. And we're in the month of April. I love that. All right. These cards have really short descriptions. I think that's why I don't resonate, because I'm finding that when I read these oracle cards, when I read the whole description, that's when my brain does that like math Zach Galifianakis meme equation where I'm just like, how does this all relate to the astrology? So we'll see how this one goes. How can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? Card number 1 is card number 19. And the message is a spiritual hug. Too much of one thing and not enough of another. People pulling at you and constantly wanting something from you. This type of experience will leave you feeling depleted and in need of balance. This is the time to sit in quiet meditation and ask your spirit guide if you may have a spiritual hug. Just one spiritual hug will recharge your battery and fill you with renewed strength to take back into your life. Your guide is there for you, even when you feel that others are not. Remember, they aren't only there to push you forward, but also to hold you when you need it. So this makes, I mean, that's how short the descriptions are. They're super tiny. So this does make sense. How can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? Especially because, so we have this contrasting Aries energy, the sun in Aries. We just had the solar eclipse in Aries. Aries is all about go, 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 go. But we have Mars and Saturn in Pisces. And this is a like slow down, hold on type of energy. So perhaps it's the pause of slowing down and asking the universe for support. Taking 2 minutes to slow down, close your eyes, tune into whatever spirit guide you work with. This deck talks about one specific guide, but whoever you want to work with, pause, ask for a hug, feel the hug, feel the support. Maybe do that before you engage in whatever mindful movement that you're feeling called to. So slow down, ask for universal support, feel the hug, feel the embrace, and then set the intention. Hey, will you help me process this emotion while I go for a walk? Will you help me unlock whatever's been stuck in my body while I clean my house? Melinda, Darlene loves this one. Karma, Jennifer, this resonates. I love that. Megan, this is the Healing Spirits Oracle. Kelly, who is the guide the deck focuses on? From my limited time reading this deck, it's intuited that it's just whatever spirit guide you associate with most strongly. Personally, I work with my higher self. I'm always calling in my higher self, but if there's another guide that speaks more strongly to you, that's what this deck is referring to. Jenny, makes sense. Been shaking lots already, still angry with overwhelm. A hug might help. Michelle, I need that guy, the hug. Oh, Sophia's working with Milton. It's her Akashic guide. You're welcome, Kelly. Lori, that connects with you. That's so interesting. And Jenny, what you said about been shaking lots already, still angry with overwhelm. I'm feeling, wow, and this is Saturn. Saturn is Father Time. Saturn is another divine masculine with Mars, the divine masculine. This feels like such a masculine energy, the hug. Especially when, so feminine energy is chaotic. Feminine energy is kind of sporadic, emotional. And sometimes when you're going too far, when you've spiraled out, sometimes you do just need that big Saturn, Mars, masculine hug to just hold you, to just calm you. So that could be also, if you're spouting out left and right, if you feel like you're spiraling, there's another word that's not coming up. Goddess needed that big hug yesterday. Deborah so needed this today. Walking to the lake now to release. I love that. Anique needs so many spiritual hugs. Are you calling them in? You get to call them in. Nicole's mom sent you a rainbow yesterday. That's beautiful. Jennifer, for me, that connects with April 2022 and feeling the responsibility of looking after elderly folks. You could, you can time travel in your mind's eye. That's what I believe inner child work is. And you can time travel to April of 2022 and go give that version of Jennifer a nice big spiritual hug, either by you or by whatever spirit guide you choose to work with. Cindy, you gotta stop. Tomorrow is the anniversary of my dad's passing in 2018. Maybe he's coming to give you a big spiritual hug, letting you know that everything's okay on the other side. Bonnie, what is that emoji? Is that a film strip? Card number 2. Oh, it's a hug. Oh, it's a hug. Okay, I see it. It's so small. How else can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? Card number 2 is card number 23. You came to serve. In your life, you have come through dark times and have experienced enough to be able to choose whether to offer your gift to others. In your heart, you know that everything you have overcome has been a part of the journey that has brought you to this very moment. Your spirit guide has watched over you and is telling you that you are now ready to use your gifts and share them with the world. For everything you have come through has taught you grace and wisdom that you must share. Remember, the one who serves others is served by the highest spirit of all. That's deep, guys. How can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? By helping others with their stagnant emotions. Look at that. You see him wagging his tail? He's like, hell yeah, guys. That's exactly what you got to do. This makes so much sense with that solar eclipse conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer. I talked about this a lot with my Embody Astrology group, my Patreon group. I didn't really talk about it on an Insight Timer, but Chiron, the wounded healer, he experiences a wound. He learns how to heal himself of said wound, and then eventually he starts healing others. And I highlighted this so much when I talked with my Patreon group, how it's time to step out to start healing others. And it doesn't need to be on a grand scale. It doesn't need to be like you're this new spiritual healer with this giant platform. It could be people in your day-to-day lives. It could be people in your close family. It could be strangers on the street who walk up to you and start telling you their life story. But how do we unlock and process emotions that are stuck within us? You start teaching other people how to unlock and process emotions within them. Because as you teach, you have to prove mastery to yourself. That's how you prove mastery, because teaching is scary. Sometimes you get up to tell someone something and you're like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not qualified. But then the more you share your wisdom, the more you share your experiences, you show yourself, wow, I have healed a lot in myself. I have moved past. And sometimes you need, not to say that you're better than anyone else, but you need that contrast of how you are in a different place in your life than someone else for you to sit with, wow, I've come so far. Wow, I remember when I used to be in that place. Now I'm in this place. Maybe I have been doing more than I thought. It's very interesting. Violet, it's like you're speaking right to me today. It's so funny. Wow, you guys are really resonating with this reading today. This is pretty cool. Yvonne says this hit home. Tatiana loves this. Diana, goose and God bumps galore. Bonnie, hell yeah to this card. Sophia, goodness, is it just me or is it the same message being underlined and developed on in every reading lately? It's because we're all syncing with the universe, guys. We're being led by the universe. Wow, goddess, so on point with everything going on with me right now. Athena just said this to her husband last night. There's too much experience and wisdom within me not to share. I gave myself space over the last year, not healing others, and thought it was a modality I was letting go for good. Maybe you were just shifting gears. Suzanne, my daughter really needed me this past weekend, so I was glad I didn't travel. Told her about Chiron on the day of the eclipse. She had never heard of the wounded healer. That's great. Anik, so the block that came to me today was having nothing to give from my 4-year-old self being beaten down. So the block that came to me today, okay, when we did that practice, was having nothing to give. And it came from your 4-year-old self being beaten down. So here you go, Anik. From our work together, I know you have plenty to give. So maybe it is time for you to just start sharing, to start proving to yourself, wow, I do know something. Wow, I do have skills that other people don't have. Yes, and now it's the card of service. That's right, Anik. Sandy, number 2 is my card. Thus is exactly what I've been thinking. How can I serve others now? Jacqui, service came up in my new moon spread. Greg, this speaks to me of authenticity and being an example for others. Yes, you can lead by example. That's very, very powerful, very underrated because you feel like you're not doing anything. But that's how this world is set up. You are given spiritual gifts. You are given whatever divine gifts, and they come easily to you because that's what you're meant to be doing, are the things that come easily. So if all you're doing is leading by example, you're doing so much. Look at I love Piston. Lots of inner child vibes here and elsewhere. That's kind of like my hot thing right now. I'm all about the inner child work right now. Cindy, thank you so much for your donation. It's very much appreciated. Sophia feels like the energy of this group is expanding, the openness of the channel, and messages are flowing through. Sure. Bonnie, maybe the point is the 4-year-old self wasn't meant to give, but to receive, Anique. But you can give her what she needs, Bonnie. Oh, so much wisdom. So much wisdom in this group. I love it. How else can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? Card number 3 is card number 3. You have the power to make yourself better. Oh my gosh. Once my Taurus course comes out, guys, you gotta come back and watch this video. So make a note, the April 10th YouTube video, because this is all making way too much sense for everything I just recorded on my Taurus course yesterday. This is incredible. You have the power to make yourself better. The healing power of the spirit world will always be there for you when you make the effort to heal your own body, mind, or life. You might not be aware of it, but the moment you try to fix what is broken in your life, healing spirits will pour out their power, their pure compassion, to get you back to full health and strength. Spirit healers are working with you right now because they know how important it is for you to get back to being the best you can be. Remember, the power of love is what connects you to spirit healers, to spirit helpers and healers. And they are reminding you just how strong love is when it comes to the medicine you require. So this is just a reminder that you can ask for assistance. That your spirit guide, your spirit team, whoever you connect with, they are on your beck and call. Is that how you say it? They're there for you. They want to help you because you have the power to make yourself better. And all you got to do is ask for what you want and then have a little bit of patience. This has been coming up a lot. Also, I've been talking a lot about if you set the intention, it's in motion. There's no denying it. It is so because you say so, and so it is. So if you set the intention to help me unlock and process emotions in my body, help me move these through, help me get them out, it's happening. It is so because you say so, and so it is. I don't have much else to say about that card. This one seems pretty cut and dry, pretty obvious. Your spirit team loves you so much. Maybe it has to do more with that self-love too. Green, heart chakra, heart in the tree. Self-love might make you call in, might make you feel more of that spirit love, but it's always there. It's always helping you. You just have to ask. You have to intend. Bonnie was just going to say these cards are pretty in a subtle way. Love that. Love the tree of beauty, Chucky. Michelle, my bell, I'm so glad I didn't miss this live today. Mic drop. Yes. Beautiful card. And the message, Tatiana. Sarah, that's what I wanted to hear. Goddess needed to hear this. Bonnie says, has this reading with all of us established a stronger connection with this deck? You know, maybe. I knew it needed to come back out. You guys are super resonating with this. It's still, for me, it's like a, but you know, this is for everyone. This isn't my reading, it's our reading. Jacqui, beautiful continuity among the cards. Cindy, all three resonated with my meditation through this eclipse on Monday. It's blowing my mind right now. Oh, connected. We're all tapping in to the energetic grid that connects everything. It is so because you say so. I'm taking that with me. Yeah, life's really that easy. It's just it's the instantaneous gratification that we have to let go of. Because everything is happening how we want it to happen, just in divine timing. Greg last night realized that he must expand in order to receive the expanded version of my dreams. Sitting statically in currents in what? Sitting statically in currency level of expansion only manifest current levels of receiving. Thus, the goal is seeking my own expansion and trusting everything I want will expand in response. Greg, didn't this eclipse just happen right on your Jupiter? Is it your Jupiter that's conjunct your ascendant? So, of course you're focusing on expansion right now. Bruh. Jacqui, I think the descriptions are long enough. Suzanne loves this whole reading. Diana, we're on fire in such a beautiful way. Yes, Jennifer, it's such a great reading. I'm so glad I stayed up for this. Beautiful. I'm here some Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at the same time. Feel free to join us whenever. I have one more deck and I want to pull one more card, asking one more question, a different question. But let's recap this real quick. How can we unlock and process stagnant emotions? Tune into that spiritual hug that you need from your spirit team. Maybe it's a moment of pause so that you can set your intention before you go process physically and move. Maybe the movement that you need is by teaching others, by helping others through things that you have helped yourself through. And know that you have the power to make yourself better. All you got to do is ask. Your spirit guides, team, they're all there waiting to help you. But we live in a planet of free will. We live in a planet where nothing can happen to us until we ask for it and consent to it. So I wonder if that's that missing piece in your intentions. Are you consenting to receiving? Are you saying words like, I welcome in an expanded consciousness of love? That's from Pam Gregory. I've been saying that a lot. I am ready to receive my highest timeline. It's another Pam Gregory quote. Diana, thank you so much for your donations. Very much appreciated. Do I want to tell the story? I got a quick story because I love my anecdotes, and it was coming up during the middle card. You came to serve, trying to relate to how serving others is going to unlock and process stagnant emotions within us. So here's just a quick thing. Intimacy has been the focal point of my marriage. We're coming up on being together for 7 years, and the emotional intimacy is still on its way. So yesterday we had like a brief little argument at dinner, and then we came to the realization that like, okay, we need to have a deeper talk about this. We need to go a little bit deeper. This is more than just the surface level. This is how I'm feeling. Let's get deep. So my husband, who doesn't go there, he was like, let's get deep. Let's have a deep conversation. I don't know what that is. So I was kind of leading the way, and I was just bringing up like, okay, these are parts of my childhood that I remember feeling XYZ way. And I was talking about how I always felt like the burden because I'm the baby, and I would just be a kid, and I'd walk into the room being myself, and my older sisters would be like, Jacqueline, you ruined it. You ruined the whole thing, right? So I'm like tiptoeing around it. And he shared a tiptoe story. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to go there. And I asked him, like, what's the time you remember feeling the most scared? Like, what was the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to you? And he was like, I got nothing. I can't go there. I don't know what's there. So I said, I'm going to lead by example. And I shared my story of the most scared I've ever been in my life. And I was trying to do it from this like stoic, look, let me guide you down to this darkness. And then I was a wreck. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to relive that. This is so painful. It's bringing me back. This is opening up so many more memories. And I'm like crying on the couch. And he doesn't know what to do. So he's just kind of there like, he's trying to change the subject to try to cheer me up. But I'm like, no, I need to be here right now. Just like, let me cry. So the grand scheme of what I'm trying to say is by teaching him how to process his emotions, I ended up processing a whole big thing that's been sitting in me since for, oh my gosh, 20 years. I'm getting old, guys. This memory that I've processed before, just by trying to help him get there and lead by example, I cleared out a whole bunch of stuff. So that's how serving others can help you unlock and process stagnant emotions within yourself. Hannah had a similar had a very similar conversation with your husband yesterday. So interesting. Greg, I know you guys are older than me, but I can still feel old, okay? Gary, yes, the Pam Gregory sayings. I am welcoming in an expanded consciousness of love. I spelled consciousness wrong, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And then I am ready to receive my highest timeline. I put them both in the chat for you. Amazing story. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome, Tatiana and Becky. It was too timely to not share. All right, one last card from one last deck. I know I'm not old, but I feel older than the cool 17-year-old Jacqui. I just want to be 17 again. Maybe it's time to watch that movie. Just kidding. Jenny says, I'm inspired by the way you just took care of your own needs in a situation where your husband was a bit lost in his support. Ugh. That could be a talk for another day. That was also bringing more up, like, man, I don't have any support. I have to take care of myself. No one's here to take care of me. Coming from the baby of 10 kids, like, where did this come from? It's a whole thing. It's a whole kid, but I'm glad I'm inspiring you, Jenny. Ugh. It could be a talk another day. Okay, so we just asked how we can unlock and process stagnant emotions. Now, coming into that Mercury retrograde conjunct the sun tomorrow, this is going to be a remembering. You're right, Chucky. Ask for your spiritual hug. This exact thing, guys, is coming in the Taurus course. And actually the exact same color. And, oh, I just got chills. And this image as well, Taurus course. Just know. Come back to this when the Taurus course comes out. What was I saying? That's right. Mercury, Sun, remembering. So Mercury retrograde conjunct the sun. Tomorrow is going to be a time of remembering something about ourselves. Aries. It's in Aries. So I want to use the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. And I want this deck to help us describe the energy of what we're remembering. So what is going to be returning to our mind? Describe the energy. What can we expect to remember tomorrow? Feel free to send your energy into this deck. One card from this deck to describe the energy of what we are remembering with tomorrow's conjunction. If you have been enjoying today's session, if you would like to offer an exchange of energy in the form of a donation, they are always appreciated. If you would like to exchange energy off of Insight Timer for the Apple 30% dealio, if you go into my Insight Timer bio, my link tree is in there. And I have PayPal and Venmo links in there as well, if that works for you. If you haven't yet followed me on Insight Timer, please feel free to do that so you can be notified when I have my upcoming lives. The next time I'll be here is next Wednesday. I'm going to leave you guys with all these messages for a whole week. I can't do two things at once. If you follow me on Insight Timer, you can see when my classes come up. I'm here most Monday, Wednesday, Friday, depending on the astrology, and this is always my time slot, 8:15 Central Time. My Aries course is live if you want to embody Aries energy before it's over in 9 days. Aries season ends in 9 days. And then keep your eyes out for the upcoming Taurus course that should come out around that day. Bonnie says 222 on the screen. That's how many meditators were here when you said the affirmations. What a nice reminder, Bonnie. You guys have been on me about Instagram. So I've caved and I am now on Instagram. And my Instagram handle is Jacqui Mancuso 222. So I put the link in my link tree. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but I figured why not? I'm already posting the same stuff on TikTok, YouTube, might as well do Instagram as well. So I'm tiptoeing into that. And everything is in my link tree, which is available in my Insight Timer bio. So if you guys want to know anything that I'm doing ever, just go to that website because it's all right there. Thank you, Becky, so much for your donation. Oops. Michelle Mybell says, I've been working on unlocking these emotions buried deep down and been meditating and letting them come out. It's been freeing. Still hurts, but I now know it wasn't me and that I was just a kid trying to find my place in this giant floating rock. It's so bittersweet, Michelle, because you do get to heal yourself, but you have to feel it first. But once you feel it, that's all your inner child is asking for. For all these years, for all these decades, your inner child is saying, like, can I just feel sad? Can I please just express this sadness? And once you let them do that, oh my goodness. Michelle, one of my affirmations is everything is always working out for me, and it's helped my fears take a hike. Yep. Everything always works out. Everything always works out. Those of you who are donating, just a reminder that in the thank you message, I'm going to do a book dump for you. So I let my intuition find a sentence in the books that I use for today for an extra message for you. So that's what the heck I'm talking about when I throw in a random sentence. I'm not a cuckoo. I am cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm not. Describe the energy of what we're remembering. Ooh, 1 second. Tomorrow, with this Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde, what are we remembering? The card from Angels and Ancestors is the Direction Guardian. Choose your path. Whoa! Connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and soul sing. The Direction Guardian card represents the angels of direction. These amazing angels are the ones who come to us when we are at a crossroads and don't know which way to go. When we are unsure of what is right for us or of the bigger picture. They can help us know what is best for all involved. The Direction Guardian card refers to the vision of the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel, who is said to have seen an angel with 4 different faces. One was a child, one a bull, one was a lion, and one was an eagle. We just had that eagle card come up the other day too. These 4 faces show that angels can appear in many guises and guide us in many different directions, but always for our highest good. Your path is not set in stone, and your angels and guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunities to grow and learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So, if you know that there's a decision to be made, and particularly if you are feeling indecisive, choose the path that you know is going to make you light up, and choose with your heart. You don't say choose with your heart. Ask for help. This is what we're remembering. Today, tomorrow, Friday, we are remembering that we get to choose our path. We get to dictate our path. It is so because I say so, and so it is. We've uncovered today that everything always works out. We are always on the right path. We are always in alignment with our highest good, so take a chance. It is still Aries season, after all. Even though we're pausing today to unlock these emotions, process them through physically, maybe once this emotion is processed and felt and out of the way, you'll be able to have a little bit more clarity on what direction you want, what direction you truly desire. And all you got to do is start taking a few steps and ask for help. And you will be walking down that path. Again, the divine timing. A little bit of patience, a little bit of trust goes a long, long way. Michelle, grateful for all of you. Diana, way cool. Violet and Tracy, thank you guys so much for your donations. Joe, lovely. Lori, beautiful. Athena, pausing today and slowing down. Mentally still with Mercury. Excuse me. You guys have released a lot of stuff today. I brought this up a few months ago. I used to hide my belches, but then I realized that I'm just helping the collective letting stuff go. So there's been a lot today. You guys have been already unlocking, moving, processing. It's good. So that's what I'm going to leave you with for the next week. You can still sit with the messages from Monday's reading with the eclipse, because the eclipse energy is going to resonate for the upcoming 6 months. The replays of all of my sessions are on YouTube. Search my name on YouTube or just click on the link in my link tree. Likewise, if you are a more visual word-based person, you can join our spiritual community. That's the group that I have on Insight Timer. The link is also right in my Insight Timer bio. Our good friend Bonnie helps me. I send her the pictures of the cards, and then she takes the text and puts it in our spiritual community. So you can go there for a log. She's been doing it for about a year. So a log of everything that we've ever said here on Insight Timer. Yeah. So I really encourage you guys to do that body exercise, right? It was in the beginning of this talk, probably about 15 minutes in, finding a physical sensation, tracing it back, and then giving your inner child a spiritual hug, because you came here to serve your spiritual child. You came here to serve your inner child, and you have the power to make yourself better. You are your inner child, so all you got to do is go back and say, wow, I hope you heal. The light coming out of that heart, I didn't notice it until just now, and it's like beaming in my face. It looks so 3D. Michelle says, you're one of a kind. Thanks for following your heart that led you right to us. You're so welcome. I'm so happy I can lead by example. See how powerful it is? Sidekick Jacqui is so excited that I'm on Instagram. She was the one that encouraged me to do it. Purple and green, by the way, crown and heart. Purple and green are the colors for today. Jacqui Mancuso 222. Anik, this was wonderful today. Thank you, Jacqui. Also listened to the Monday session on the other platform. Donate off of Insight Timer. Thank you, Anik. We're all rebels together. We're all playing the game to get our messages across, right? It's not always about following the rules. Sending love. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the little bit of break and ease with this astrological break. Allow some time just to let the messages sink in. Greg, our resident cheerleader. Becca, did you say the eclipse energy will be effective for the next 6 months? If so, does this mean the same intensity of change will endure? So, Becca, with eclipses, the intensity is probably going to be at a heightened point right now because the eclipse just happened, but the energy will be carried through the next 6 months. We have eclipses every 6 months. So, however intense your life feels, you know, like it's not going to be this intense for 6 months. But whatever's happening now, whatever's starting now, it'll take about 6 months to dispel and move through and integrate and all of that. So, all right, guys, sending love to all. Namaste. I'm so excited that Piston stayed with us the whole time today. He's still there. I hope that video was just as insightful for you as it was for all of us. Darla and I really appreciate you being here with me. Thank you for liking this video, sharing it with a friend who you think would benefit, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Also, drop a comment and let us know what you got from this video. What was your biggest insight or takeaway? If you want to see what else I'm working on, click on my link tree. It's right underneath this YouTube video. We'll see you next time. Take care.